This is a test of the Bounty Park alert system.
Going on, you absolute pleb.
All right.
Yeah. Smooth as ever.
Smooth criminal. Last week's was bad. There was no sound, but there's sound this week.
But no picture.
No,
but we've got
we're
a picture
on now, aren't we? We're on now. Hello, Oldham fans.
Hello, Matthew.
You woke up from last week?
Well, I've been ill.
I know, yeah, but you sat there like a corpse last week.
Have we got sound coming through? We haven't we?
Yeah. People can hear us, yeah.
Yeah, I hope we can. Hopefully we can.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Relax.
Okay.
Relax, chill out.
Evening, guys. Yeah, so I've been ill. It was my birthday. I didn't get a card or present off you.
I wasn't going near you. You were ill.
Yeah. So
you didn't go to the game, Dave, on New Year's Day.
No, too poorly.
That was a sign that you were genuinely sick.
Yeah,
because you missed the match.
You're sick. You're sick. No, you did the interviewing duties with David Unsworth.
Yeah.
Why is this black?
Oh, it's because I took that down. Look, it's because I got confused. That
there we go. That's a bit better.
There we go.
Yeah, so you did the interviewing duties. So tell us about the game.
Well, maybe the callers can tell us about the game.
well, yeah, but give us your view, Matt. Give us your view. What did you think
view of the game, Dave, was that we were a much more solid defensive unit than we were at Notts County.
Mm.
The frustration through the game was, it was one of those games where we got a point, right, and we could have won it, and we would have been lucky to have won it. And I think, to be fair, we were lucky to get a point because it was, because I'm trying to remember the first goal. I can't remember. Sheeran's goal with the goalkeeper just was on another planet.
Went on a five-a-side.
Madness, and then a penalty.
Good penalty, though.
Yeah, really good, yeah. But, they bossed it, massively.
Yeah.
The interview that I did with Unsworth, he said that he was happy with the game plan. I thought still, because when we scored the goal, the equaliser, we dropped off them straight away, and they scored it straight away.
Yeah.
And it was this. I thought we were fortunate. However, it was definitely an improved performance. We played two up top, but for the majority of the game, we were still sitting very deeply back. Their number 15, their centre half, just everything went to him, and I would have just put one of our forward lads on him and stop him playing. Yeah. But I don't know. Well, let's find out what callers thought. Would he have been at the game there? Do you think?
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
Hello, Joe.
Yo.
Evening, guys. You right?
How are you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. Thank you.
How was Old Trafford? Scumbag.
I went now. I had my eyes shut for.
Yeah. I'm only kidding.
You're seeing at the Etihad from now and again.
It's not Old Trafford, mate.
Doesn't matter, does it?
It does.
No.
But Etihad's not as bad as Old Trafford.
Anyway.
Which is worse, City or United? Put it in the comments. Anyway. Did you have a good? You had a good Christmas, mate?
Yeah, decent. Thanks. Yeah.
So did you go to the game against Notts County?
Yeah, I did.
Give us your thoughts.
I thought we were quite lucky at times, to be honest. We got a lucky goal from Sharon, to be honest. That was fairly lucky. And then the pen was lucky it came. But it frustrated me because we did some really good things at times. But then I still think we're just not comfortable on the ball. If you know what I mean?
That's obvious, isn't it? They are really good with the ball, aren't they, Notts County? In possession, they're so comfortable, and it showed up how uncomfortable on the ball we are, didn't it?
Yeah, if you watch them, they look like they want the ball. Do you know what I mean? Whereas we're so they just want to get rid of it as soon as they get it.
Do you think that's confidence, though?
I think they're just scared the crowd's going to get on their backs. To be honest, it is a bit of that, but then they need to get over it. Other clubs do it. We should be it, but.
Yeah, in terms of the ball retention and movement and passing. Like they like I said before, they're number 15. They played a back three, and there was plenty of room because with the back three, there's always spaces between the defenders. But he got the ball, and he picked his passes all the time. If there wasn't a long ball for him to play, then he gave it to Matt Palmer. Matt Palmer pinged it about there, number 8. Like just looking around the team, they just had. I'm rubbish with names and stuff, but the guy with the sort of Mohican as well, guys who like they're number 11. Guys who were just so comfortable with the ball. It was like everybody wanted the ball. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Passing, moving, like they are a really good. I know that Unzers was saying that after the game on Boxing Day, they are a really good team. But the thing is when you're playing a really good team, the first thing you've got to do is stop them playing, isn't it? Like you've got to close down the spaces and all that. And I put across to him in the interview that I think from our point of view as fans, we were frustrated because we wanted to see him press them higher up the pitch. And what he was saying, Unsworth, in the interview was that if we did that, we'd give them too much space and they'd exploit it like they did on Boxing Day. So ultimately, they only got 2 goals.
The good reaction though, because this was they scored, we scored, they scored, then we won a penalty. So we didn't give up, did we? For what I heard on the radio, they seemed to be pretty decent.
But that's the difference between home and away, isn't it? Because against Torquay it was a similar thing, wasn't it? Where was that the last home game?
Yes,
I think it was. So that's
Peterborough Sports technically. But...
Yeah. So I mean, so if you include that, then that's 3 home games where we haven't been beaten, and obviously we've had to fight back in each of those games, apart from Peterborough, which was 0-0. But
yeah.
I mean, do you think there's a big difference in what do you think it is mentality-wise, at home versus away? Because I put that to Unsworth and he just said it's all down to fight and desire. But do you think there's a big difference?
I think it's the way we set up, to be honest. Like when we play away, we don't seem to we seem to let them score and then we sort of get it back into the game then, if that makes sense. Like we seem to go 1 down, and then it's similar to Notts County. I feel like we were playing for a draw in that game, like on a Boxing Day. As soon as they scored, we came straight back at them, and then I think we just don't go in with the right mentality, right setup, to be honest. But I think
it's just tough though. But the only positive I can take as well is that Joe Nuttall's got 2 in 2 now. He got a striker. We needed goals, and he's scoring, isn't he? So all right, one was a penalty, but. He looks a handful, doesn't he? But everyone was screaming out for Reid. What did you think on that? Do you think Fondop and Nuttall works, or would you have had Nuttall and Reid?
Again, I think it depends who we're playing. If we're playing if we want pace, we put Reid on, I reckon. If we want to be more physical, put Fondop on because he'll bully the defenders. But yeah, it just depends who we're playing, really. I think. But you've got to start Nuttall every game. I think, in my opinion.
I think it was for the type of game it was, I think it was a strange choice playing Nuttall and Fondop together because they're both sort of like the big physical presence. Fondop's not the quickest. Nuttall won a lot of headers.
Yeah,
he really is the all round kind of number 9. So he needs that kind of somebody with a bit of pace running off him to cause trouble. So I'd be really happy to see Reid start with him, and I think Abraham's one of those players that comes off the bench and causes teams trouble later on.
Stretches the player, isn't he?
And definitely.
So much energy.
And I think if you need to bring Nuttall off because he's had a knock or he's knackered or whatever, then you bring Fondop on.
Good point by Martin there. If Reid was on the pitch, he would have finished a chance that had fallen to me.
Now it happened very quickly. I know one of the things that you wanted to talk about was Benny Couto, but for me, in that chance, Couto did really, really well. I can't remember who it was who played the ball through to him, but he got onto it rapid. Did really, really well. Put a ball across. It looked to me like he put the ball across quite quickly, and that Abrams. It was one of those where it just came to him quickly. But I've not seen the replay yet. So, what did you make of it, Joe? Do you think he should have scored?
He's not the best finisher, being honest, Timmy, is he? I think, but I don't know. It might be like a confidence thing again with him. Like he's not. Like when he's in front of goal, but when I see him in training, he's always finishing. But when you watch him in the match, he's similar to Hallam Hope. He just can't. He's in the right place, right time. He just can't finish.
Yeah, it came off the bar. It was unlucky. It's one of those.
It came at him quick. It did come at him quick.
I think it did happen quick. Benny Couto did great though. I think playing that. So for the things from that game were, it's about getting that balance in the squad. That right hand side. When you brought Rooney on, that was just Rooney's not a right-sided player. That is a disaster. He did not know what to do. But we don't have like a right-sided midfield player.
Well, not yet.
No, we do need one, and Kuto could do a job as a winger.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to play two strikers, really, you need a winger.
You need two wingers, don't you?
But like Tolle, you need wingers who you do. But you need people who can get forward and get back, don't you? It's Tolle.
Abraham, I guess.
Tolle ain't got the pair. He ain't got the legs. He ain't got the engine.
But you see, this is where for me then it becomes a bit of an issue because like, what do? You put Tolle in the centre of midfield with Sheeran. Because you need to play Tolle, don't you?
Yeah,
but where do you play him?
Sheeran get overrun, and then everyone will go, "Oh, he's crap. He can't keep up with." Yeah,
it's a tough one. It's you know, like once you start putting it all together, it's not always as easy to figure out. Because I still think we're unbalanced. I think that's the thing. I think we don't have. Although people are often saying we've got a lot of players and stuff, and it's true, we don't have we don't have the players for our system. We've not got the we play. I don't mind what system we play as long as we've got the players to play it. It doesn't matter to me if it's 4-4-2, 4-3-3, or whatever. Yeah. As long as you've got the right players to play the system. And at the minute, we're still struggling a little bit, and it's easy to be kicked out of balance.
What do you think of Unsworth then, Joe? Is he the right man?
I keep changing my mind, to be honest. At the start, I was like, "Yeah, give him time, give him time." A couple of weeks ago, it's difficult because we need results, but you can see what he's trying to do. You can see what he's trying to build, but it's just we haven't got that much time, if that makes sense. We're over halfway through the season. We need to start getting results now.
Well, in the interview that we did after the match, he said the season starts now. And for me, what he was saying was, look, he's brought players in. He's had time to work with the players. He knows them now. He knows what they're capable of. He figures that I think now what his best formation is with what he's got. And from that interview, it was like, right, because he seemed delighted with the result and the performance. So it's like, okay, the season starts now. You know, and I know a lot of people are starting to judge the manager and the players already, but I think for me that was a sort of like an indication of, right, we'll judge us from this point a little bit more.
Because when we were on Boxing Day to get a 2-2 draw, I think that's quite good. You know, I was doom and gloom after Boxing Day, so again, he's got the right reaction.
We all were, mate.
So
listen, Joe, thanks for getting in touch, pal.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of the season.
All the best, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
See you,
bye.
And if you'd like to get in touch, this is how you do it.
The Latics Football Phone is live every Wednesday between 8:30 and 9:30. If you want to join the conversation, then you need to join us on our StreamYard link, which looks something like this. You'll find the StreamYard link in our pinned post on Facebook, Twitter, and in the comments section on YouTube. So if you want to join the debate, that's how you do it.
There we go.
So there you go. So the link is in the comments.
Comments on YouTube and Facebook.
Me and Dave. We've perked up a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, it was. We
made a strong coffee because we were both struggling a little bit. But here we go. I mean, what's more exciting than Latics debate? Having a mass debate.
Let's
talk to Adrian.
Latics.
Hello.
How you doing, guys?
How are you doing, pal?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on again.
No worries. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
You came up for the game on New Year's Day, didn't you?
I did. I've got a little aid memoir here because I'm getting on a bit, so I forget things. But I drove up and I got to the ground quite early. Again, Billy no mates. If there's an Oldham Athletic supporters in Shropshire, let me know because. I need to get up a bit more. I absolutely loved it. I love going to Boundary Park, sitting on my own. I just loved it. But I got there really early. I got a pie. Didn't get in the supporters bar, but there's a lot of people grumbling about it. But I thought I'll just get a pie. So I had a pie, and I actually went and watched the Oldham players warming up. Stood in the Joe Roll stand, watched them, and I've got to say they looked petrified. They had blank faces, and I actually called out to them. I said, "Look, come on, smile, guys. We're going to win this one." And they there's a little bit of a titter there, but they did look really kind of a bit sort of rabbits in headlights, you know, as opposed to the county.
Under pressure,
Yeah. I mean, they really did look sort of, as though they were really dreading the game, as opposed to the county players who came out and, they went to see the supporters, and there was a bit of joy de vivre, but there was nothing. There was nothing. That kind of really worried me. It really worried me. But, but it kind of turned out all right. I've just got a few things to say. I mean, the one thing I sat in the Joe Roll stand and I looked, and it was I was so relieved to see him playing a 4-4-2. It's clear it was a 4-4-2. But I mean, the only other thing I'd say about that is that it seems to have Sidney Peck, and he just seemed to be like dancing in front of Clark. He didn't seem to be doing much other than protecting Clark, the guy ran a lot. He ran as much as kind of Hope runs, but it was a bit. At times I thought this is almost like back five again, And then what I really annoyed me in the first half was the lack of pressing, especially from Fondop and Nuttall. It was like as soon as they got the ball, we just sat back. We sat back and sat back. And then you looked at the county forward line, and there was almost like 5 players in the front line. I thought, what is this? Is it because our back fours hasn't got any pace? Is it because they're frightened? They have to play deep because they don't want to they don't want the space they can run behind. But it was just so on the back foot all the time. It was I still don't get what's going on there. I really don't get what's going on there. It was almost as though, as soon as we had the ball, we just sat back. It changed.
That was according to Unsworth after the game. That was. I mean, they stuck to the game plan. So it was obviously what he was saying was, because I did make the point
if that's the game plan, I mean, where are we going? If that's the game plan, it changed in the second half because Nuttall, he brought Abraham on, and Nuttall, he was winning a lot of headers, especially on the left hand side, nodding them on, and we were shaking them up. It went a bit direct, and that seemed good. But Nuttall help me out, Fondop together, it was a waste of time, a complete waste of time. I
just said before the goal that I'd take Fondop out. It was about time he came off, and he actually, I think it was him who got the ball and broke from the, for the goal that led to the first goal. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that number 15, it was frustrating me so much. Their centre half, all their players are so comfortable on the ball, but everything was starting with him. And I wanted to see one of our front players putting him under a lot more pressure and making him play balls he didn't want to be playing. But he was just dictated wherever he wanted to pass the ball, and it was frustrating. But, like the manager seemed to think that the game plan was carried out to a T. So
it's just passive, isn't it? It's just so passive. And I don't know. I mean, are we... which another help me out here. There's another centre back went on loan today. What's his name? He went out on loan today. I mean, I mean, where are we with the back four? Because I mean, do we need some more pace in there? Are we frightened of teams? I mean, Clark can clearly deal with high balls and stuff, but we're playing so deep, so we're just going to get nowhere if we play like this. I just understand it.
Yeah, but we do have to remember that it is part of a process, because you can't replace the whole squad overnight. You didn't have any season to build a squad. We've got Peter Clark in, which I think most of us agree with. We needed that leader. You're right; he's not got the pace that he used to have. Jordan Clark came back at the weekend.
But why is he signing Reed and not playing him?
To be honest with you, I mean, I'm glad that we've got options up front now. We've got someone like Reed who, hopefully, if he's not getting a game, he's gonna come on when he gets his chance, and he's gonna. What you want, especially up front, is you want a headache for the manager, don't you? You want strikers that are all knocking on the door.
I'm sure he'll feature up front with Nuttall on Saturday. He's got to. Obviously, I know he's had a few results, but I don't think Uns daft, is he? He could have seen that he's going to change it. And Dorking are a completely different side to Notts County. They're vulnerable at the back. They concede a lot of goals. They got beat 4-0 by Eastleigh in the last game. So they're there for the taking, really, and they're at home, so they'll be feeling the pressure more than we'll be doing. We've got really not much to lose, so let's see what he sets up with on Saturday. But again, it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch.
Yeah, but I just don't. I mean, much as I like to see stuff going on behind the scenes and signings and progression in that sense, I just still don't get what he's trying to achieve with the way that he's playing. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I hope it comes right, and maybe there's more players to put into the jigsaw. But I just don't. I don't see how we're going to get anywhere by playing that sort of non-pressing, sit back, back 4/5. There were signs too up front. That's good, but the midfield's just absent. We need a Mike Milligan. Everybody says we need a Mike Milligan. Bring him back. Best player, best midfielder that's ever played for Oldham. We need him. Anyway, I've got one more thing before we go. I've got one thing for Dave.
Oh yeah.
You weren't there on Sunday.
No way.
But the referee, it's a refereeing thing, Dave.
All right.
There was a foul. There was a cross came in from Notts County, and there was a clear foul, just sort of like just on the edge of the penalty area, far post. He played advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it came back in. Notts County fella hit it over the bar, and then he blew up and gave a free kick.
Well, okay, you don't know.
Sorry, how that works then. Well,
yeah, he gave the advantage, and then when the chance that they had came to nothing, then he gave a free kick.
The referee has the right to give advantage and pull it back when he wants, really. So, but again, it's usually 7 to 8 seconds. So was it about 7 to 8 seconds?
Well, he let them have a chance. They didn't take the chance, and that should have been the
depends the players. Hey, I didn't give the decision.
Well, you're the king of the laws.
I am, but hey, I'd have to see it and give it a proper ref review. But yeah, we'll give it back. Bring the old king of the laws back.
Right, cheers, Adrian. And if you're an Oldham fan in Shropshire, give Adrian a shout because he needs to know. Get it out on Twitter. Hashtag Shropshire Blues or whatever, something like that.
Shrews Blues.
Cheers, mate.
All right, see you, mate.
See you later.
Right, where's Lampy?
Lampard.
There for the taking, James.
Well, come on and have a talk about it then, James, big man.
Some of us were planning on going to Dorking the weekend, but we don't know where it is.
Oh, look, I'll pass it on to Mark. I know the manager. Oh, look at me.
Get on here, James, and let's talk to you like we did before the home game.
Piss out of you.
You've got your own podcast now, I believe. So come on, get on. Come on and plug it. Right, who are we talking to now? Should we talk to our mate Ibby?
Let's do it.
All right, Ibby.
Good evening, guys. You okay?
Yeah,
good,
how are you, mate?
Happy New Year.
I'm all right, Dave. How are you? You're a lot better now.
Feeling a lot better, thank you. Thanks for the messages and that. It's really nice of you to get in contact over the festive period. It's I'm
just happy that we didn't lose on Sunday.
Yeah. So what did you go?
Yeah, I went and we could have easily nicked that at the end with 3 points, but we need to build this result now at Dorking, which won't be very easy, really.
It would have been a bit of a robbery if we'd have won that one, wouldn't it? I would have felt like our luck had changed big time if we'd have managed to nick a win with that one.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio and they're like, it's really close. I've seen the miss in it. It's a glaring miss. It's unforgivable, actually.
What do you make about David Unsworth giving that interview to All the Times about the fans?
What do you think of it?
I think the fan pressure made him to do that. Now I don't know if it was done genuine by him or something. But at the end of the day, he needs to have a relationship with the supporters for a fact if he wants to succeed.
I think he clapped the fans after the game. I don't think I think it's no coincidence that a lot of fans got on the phone in last week for an hour and a half saying that you need a relationship with the fans, and then lo and behold, a speculative article comes out of the Oldham Times. So obviously, either Mr. Unsworth watches the show, people within the club watch the show, which is great, and that's what we want. So it's getting the right reaction, and he's actually coming out and wanting to build that relationship rather than ignore it and being communicado like the previous regime.
We just needed to succeed, Dave, really. And like you said, that the season starts now. Let's see what he does against Dorking, because we need 3 points. We need to start winning games now, really seriously.
I think what I always try and do is sort of, put yourself in somebody else's shoes and try and empathize with somebody else. And it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know how many of us would stand up in front of thousands of people, confidently if we feel that we're getting a load of grief off them.
Yeah.
So you do have to look at it from that point of view. I think on Sunday, he waited for every single one of his players to come off and congratulated them all, and then he applauded the fans. And I think once he start winning games, everybody starts to get a little bit more relaxed. He'll become a bit more relaxed. The fans will become a bit more relaxed, and that's just the way it goes. It's a difficult position for people to be in. You don't just come to a football club as a manager and the fans love you. That's not the way it works. It's easier for players if they players like Bahambula who came in and do a few tricks and all that and play with a smile on their face. But it's not easy to win fans over. The only way a manager wins fans over is by winning games, and he's not got to that point yet. So I mean, it's also a lot easier to say stuff like when you're talking to him after the game and stuff like that. It's not as easy to sort of put difficult questions to somebody. You want to try and be supportive of them but in a crowd, it's different, isn't it? So I think, fans that behave a certain way in a crowd wouldn't behave that way if they spoke to someone face to face.
State the obvious, Paddy, as per. Yeah. So what do you think? How do you think we'll get on against Dorking then, Ibby? Think we got a chance?
We have got a chance, but he has to play 4-4-2, definitely. And I'm just hoping he gives Alex Rees a chance.
What do you think he's sharing in midfield?
He had a good game on Sunday. I just hope he continues playing in that.
Well, I don't want to bang my own drum, but I've been saying 4-4-2 and cheering in midfield for the last 12 weeks.
Yeah, you also said that Cooper looked
like I did say that Charlie Cooper would be a force to be reckoned with.
I know we were going to get promoted, no problem.
Yeah. Are you guys going to Dorking?
2 out of 4 ain't bad.
If you talk enough, you're going to get something right eventually.
Are you guys going to the game?
No, mate. No, I've got other things on, and I don't know where Dorking is. I don't know where it is.
Shall we find out where Dorking is?
Ibby, thanks again, mate. Take care, pal.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye, pal.
Yeah, it's someone who can tell us where Dorking is.
Have you got the directions to Dorking, please, James?
All right, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. How's it going?
Yeah, all right. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Just trying to find Dorking on the map, mate.
Just south of London.
If we want to find you in the table, we'll just look up. Yeah?
You have to look up a little bit, yeah.
It's all very well taking the piss like this, but at the end of the day, there's only two clubs below, isn't there, in the league?
No, we're fourth bottom.
We're fourth bottom, third bottom. Anyway, we're too low in the table anyway.
So, what do you think about Saturday? Then, are you confident? Are you nervous?
I'm a bit nervous because, well, I mean, we're unpredictable, as you can see from our results. At home, obviously, we're quite strong at home, and we've beaten Notts County, and we've had some good results at home. But that, like you said, that Eastleigh result was, I mean, we were 2-0 down after 2 minutes. They scored the quickest goal I've ever seen. They literally kicked off. It was like a set piece. They rolled it back from the kickoff, and then they went long. One guy just went straight through and scored. About 7 seconds. So, and then they scored again after about 2 minutes. Every attack they had in that first half, every time they went forward, they scored. I mean, they hit the post as well, and yeah. But we'd drawn with them. Like 2 days previously, 1-1 at home, and probably should have beaten them, to be honest. So. That's just what we can be like, especially away.
You must be delighted, though, with the way the season's going so far. First ever season at this level, 15th, 9 points off the drop zone. Not bad, is it?
Yeah. No, it's not bad. And I think most of us would probably say as well that we probably should have a few more points and a few more wins, to be honest. We were 3-1 up at Yeah, we probably should have got a point that day. But we've had that same all season though, guys. We were 3-1 up at Scunthorpe, 2-0 up at Scunthorpe at half time, lost 3-2, 3-1 up at Torquay and drew 3-3, winning 3-2 against Woking and finished 3-3. So we've been in positions where we probably should have got all 3 points and ended up either losing or.
Goals, though, don't you? You
Oh no, we concede a lot of goals. Yeah, far too many goals. Yeah,
have you still got that left back playing for you? That one who whipped those 2 quality balls in for Rufford?
Yeah, Bobby Joe Taylor. Yeah, playing on the left side of. To be honest, there's the only changes that we'll have to our side on Saturday from when we played you at the start will only be because of injuries that we've had. Obviously, Alfie Rutherford, who scored the second goal up at your place, he did his ACL against Wrexham. He's out. Right. He's out for the rest of the season.
James, we've got a question here from a pirate, David, asking if there are any decent boozers here in Dorking. We be there at 12.
There's loads. Yeah, it's only a small town, but we have got a lot of pubs, and they're all easy walking distance from the ground as well.
Excellent. I assume it's a lovely, hospitable and welcoming place. Is it, Dorking?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yep. It's been woken from its slumber this season with the big away followings coming into the town, but it's been everybody's been really well received in the high street.
It's probably Wrexham, but who's the best travelling support that you've had there so far?
Wrexham, Notts County, Aldershot sold out their allocation. I mean, Aldershot's only just over the border into Hampshire from where we are, and that's only like 40 minutes away. They sold out and they beat us 3-0 as well, so they had a good day out.
God, you must be crap if they beat you 3-0. Jesus.
They just had it came at the back of the week when the manager had gone, and then they were being run by the academy manager who's got the job full time now, and you could tell that there was a massive sea change amongst the players. They just seemed to be really, really enjoying their football and playing for the manager with no sort of pressure, and they beat us 3-0. Yeah.
So what do you think about Saturday then? What's your score prediction going to be?
Oh, I did this back in August, didn't I? And I was nearly right because I think I said a draw. No. I hope we're gonna win 3-1.
Ooh, 3-1.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But
then after that, you're gonna win every game and stay up. And so
listen, we haven't won away. We haven't won away all season, James. We haven't won one game all season, so away from home. So, there's absolutely nothing to suggest that it's going to be at the weekend.
2-0 Oldham, I think. Not all in Reed.
I can't say it's keeping a clean sheet, to be honest.
There's not many games. Yeah, there's not many times where we don't score at least one. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
even your man Paddy No Wheels has given us at least one goal for Saturday. I think he said 5-1. I think he said 5-1 in the end.
Yeah.
Up the Warriors. Yeah.
He's Paddy's top of the Latics mind leaderboard for the.
I saw that.
Yeah, but in terms of predictions, he's way off. So I don't worry about that. But
he has you to win every game 5-0, doesn't he?
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
Good luck to you for the rest of the season, James. The mighty Oldham are in town, and this is the first former Premier League club you'll ever have had at your place, won't it? So
it is.
On a massive occasion, and it was a huge occasion when you were at our place and earlier on in the season. So I wish you well. It seems to be something that's it's just an epic journey that you lot are on. And you said you've started a podcast as well, haven't you? I think have you started?
We have, yeah. We have myself and Gary, who does the commentary for the Dorking games. We started a Talking Wanderers podcast. We've had 3 shows. We've had Alfie Rutherford on there. We've had Mark Beard, the first team coach, and we spoke to the ladies manager and one of their players as well.
Good stuff.
So, it's going well.
Excellent. Good. Well, good luck with it, mate.
All right, mate.
Good luck with everything apart from Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, same to you.
We'll see you in the playoffs. All right.
Yeah. Maybe next year, though.
Yeah. All right, mate.
All the best, mate.
Cheers, pal.
Take care. See you later.
I just want to say quickly before we bring Graham in that Mike H, you're not connected. You're trying to get
connect.
in, but whatever is it's not working. So that's why we can't bring you in.
So we want to bring in Mike H, but you just connect. Gotta get yourself connected. Right, Graham, go. How you doing, mate?
Hi lads, you okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good.
Bit of a delay there because you're in France.
Ah, right.
How's it going?
All right, yeah.
Yeah. What we're thinking for Saturday? We've got to be more adventurous, haven't we?
I think that on Sunday it was very much Unsworth was playing to the opposition as much as anything. A lot of respect for Notts County. I think he's going to know that Dorking are a good footballing side and that they like to keep the ball. But I think if you get at them, like we've already said, they'll be easier to break down and score than Notts County were. So I think Dorking are trying to be like Notts County, but they're not nowhere near as solid. So yeah, you've got to have a go at Dorking. Two up top, put a lot of pressure on, press them further up the pitch. Because we saw against them, when you let them have the ball and you sit back, they'll do what Notts County did to us if we just sit back.
Well, any team will, won't they?
Yeah. Well, Wheelstone did the same thing.
Different managers though, with different. Sheridan, we sort of 3-0 up, sat back 2. But Unsworth, I don't know if it's a different kettle of fish.
I've got to be honest. I'm struggling with him. I've got to be honest. You think he's brought Nuttall and he's brought Reed in, and Nuttall was suspended for 3 games, was it?
Yeah.
And then the first opportunities he's got to play both of them, and he drops Reed, and it's like, come on, you're trying to tell us you're after all these players and you've been after them for ages, and then you get the first chance to play him and you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just struggle with him because he just seems to be a contradiction to me.
I mean, what the manager works with, he's got his attacking coach in Franny Jeffers, so he works with the strikers. And John Abril, who's the assistant manager, they obviously between them, they obviously sit down. Obviously, it's, at the end of the day, it's up to Unsworth, and it says his name that goes with the success or failure. But surely between them, they make the decision about who's in form, who's training well.
Yeah.
All the things that we don't know in the background.
Stand up, and for all we know, and Nuttall might have been banging, playing really well, linking up play, working together.
You're right there, Dave. You are right, but I think we play so deep. We play 20 yards, far too deep to me.
We did against Notts County, and I think, there's been that explanation that they felt that was where they needed to play, even though that they played that way against them. The only difference was they had an extra man in midfield rather than in defence at home than in away. But look, I mean, it's up to him now. He's going to have to change it. He's got to go to Dorking to try and get the win. We need
no
to get
excuses, is there?
No, we need to get that monkey off our back, that away win. It needs to, and going to Dorking and having a go would be, would be the way to do it, because sitting back, they're just gonna have a lot of possession and presumably create chances and make it difficult for us.
What I would say, I don't know whether you two agree. I think you're only as good as your midfield. You can have the best striker in the division and you can have really good defenders, but for a striker to get chances, he needs a midfielder to give him the bloody ball. And, we're signing all these attackers, which is great, but we need someone to give him the ball. We need a John Sheridan, don't we? But, that sort of player who we can just take care of the football. We don't have one.
No, I think that's going to be top of the list, isn't it? There are key positions that we need. I think we need a younger, quicker centre half. I think we need a right back. We need a right midfielder. We need a centre midfielder. There are some positions that definitely need filling. Going forward, the thing is like, what are you recruiting for? Are you recruiting for a 4-3-3, a 4-4-2? Are you recruiting for a squad that is interchangeable depending on who you're playing? So that's, I think this is the thing that we lose perspective of a little bit, is that over the last 4 years, our squad has been made up of. You might as well have had a big, massive pile of football stickers, and then just dipping your hand in them, taking it out and sticking one on the wall and saying, right, that's who's next, and who's that. And there's not been any kind of method to the whole kind of flow of recruitment, how the squad is. It's just been so patchwork that now we still have, even because this season when we had, it was Sheridan, there was the whole takeover thing was going on. We weren't able to recruit a squad with a system in mind. So we're still going through that process. And we've got to get through January now. Hopefully there'll be 1 or 2 more additions. Get to the end of the season, stay in this division, and then the manager can start building a squad properly based on how he wants to play football and build a proper balanced squad. Because we've not had that for years, and ultimately we're not going to have it probably by the end of the season, but hopefully we'll have a much more balanced team by the end of the season.
It's difficult. That John Hughes has just made a point. If we get beat on Saturday, does he have to go, or where's the line? But I just don't know. We just need to get through the season and stay up, I think, and then regroup as a collective. But
I think we've got a better squad than where we are, haven't we?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's right. I think that's a fair point.
I think if we start playing with two up top and giving people more to worry about in the final third of the pitch, because like you said, we haven't about the midfield. If you don't have a brilliant midfield, then play through the midfield, play beyond it. Sometimes you have to be a bit more.
I would not have a problem with them playing long ball football and get the ball up, get it up there, get it up as quickly as you can, and play in the last third of the pitch if that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty to watch, but it might get you a few wins.
I think that's what we'll have to do against some of the sort of like less, if you want to call it, lesser teams that we're going to be up against. Put them under more pressure. I think that you've got the likes of Tollett and Kitchen that are going to come from deep, especially from Tollett. If you can get the ball up to 1 or 2 of the bigger players, hold it off, bring Tollett into play, bring Kitchen into play. I think you can do damage. So
I got a text off someone before saying Joe Roll's first 16 games, he won 4. Drew 2 and lost 12. Now, I'm not saying that's comparable, but I don't know what's in Darren's head, the board's head, this 3-year deal. I think they're just going to stick by him, whatever the course of action it may bring, you know what I mean? And hopefully he can turn a corner, and hopefully getting that result against Notts County, a battling result, although we didn't play as well as some fans had expected us to, and we could have nicked it at the end.
It's a bit like Paddy says, though, isn't it? It's like the 0-0 win against Peterborough Sports and the 2-2 win against Notts County. It's like you're sort of creating draws into wins because you want him to do well, whereas the reality is he's statistically the worst manager we've ever had.
I know, but I mean, look, I think it's all very well, but like we are in we have to look at where we've come from. It's not just going to change overnight, is it? So he said himself, the season starts now. So
yeah, well, that's fair enough, Matt. We'll judge him on Saturday.
The season doesn't start now, but let's hope that from this point forward that he's had enough time with the players, and the players have had enough time with him, and things are going to start. But I agree, 4-1 on Boxing Day was terrible. The result on Sunday was good. The performance was better, but we've got to start building, haven't we? We've got to go to Dorking with some kind of optimism, so we can beat these and go out and beat them. And
then Matt, a few weeks ago when he said I think we had a 2-week break, and he said we've got 2 weeks on the training ground now, and we're going to do this, that, and the other. Yeah. And we were bobbins when we come back. So you've got the results mean everything. As a football manager, you can talk as much as you want.
Yeah,
you've got to start winning football matches.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that'll be on Saturday.
I'd love nothing more for him to win a few.
Yeah,
I think that's why we watch it. That's why we go and sit there and go through the agony. In it, it's a case of that. So, what do you think the score will be on Saturday?
I think if we go for it, we can beat bloody Dorking, can't we? But I just don't know whether he will. I'd like 2-0. I'll go for the optimistic route.
There we go.
I'm going for 2-1, me.
Oh, Matt, don't be
pessimistic. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet. I don't think we're too.
I'll be more positive and more.
I know, this year. Right, cheers, Graham. All the best.
All right, take care, lads.
Right, I'm gonna bring this. I hope that this Dean's going to a certain gig on Friday night, so there'll be no fit state. I hope you're going to see Spiked Island at the Railway in Royton.
No, I believe he's going to watch
The
Lion King.
No, he's going to see Spiked Island at the rail. That's my band doing classic 90s indie hits. It's going to be great. And so I'm not going to Dorking either, because if I go to bed after 12 o'clock, I'm incapacitated. I can't even say it. Never mind. So anyway.
Put that one up. I don't know how that compares, but yeah, pretty good point. I don't think it's the same though, Chris. We love you. I love you lots, but it's Arteta and Unsworth.
Yeah, but no,
they might have both played for Everton, and that's where the similarity ends. They both played for Everton, but
hiring and firing over and over again doesn't work, does it?
No.
Doesn't work.
There we go.
Should we just have a quick one? I was just about to call it a night, but we've got
Oldham
Steward. Hello.
Hi, lads.
How you doing?
You all right?
Not so bad, are you?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Good.
What's your name, pal?
It's Ben.
How you doing, Ben?
Yeah, not so bad. So, obviously, I've been watching the Fourings over the last few weeks, and obviously, we've all got our views on, whether we stick or twist.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I've coached football teams now for 15 years, and I think managers are judged, especially at the professional level, on their signings. Now, let's be honest, other than Kitchen, who I personally think is Oldham's best player at this moment in time, I think David Unsworth's signings have been shocking. I think Chapman's poor. I think Peck's poor. Well, I wouldn't say poor, but I don't think they wow us. Let's not forget, Peck was identified as, Sheffield United's biggest, hottest, current talent. Now, I don't see that at Oldham. I don't see Chapman as, a very good footballer. I don't see Rooney as a very good footballer. Nuttall, yeah, I like the look of Nuttall, but he's only played 2 games, so is Reid. So we can't judge Nuttall and Reid yet. But I think his current signings that have played, a good 5-6 games for us now do not wow our football team. So regardless of tactics, regardless of anything else, David Unsworth's signings are poor. So, and I get all this, he's saying it's a project and all that, and I'll buy into that idea, as long as we don't go down. But you got to judge a manager off the players that he identifies as good players. Now, if he identifies Peck and Chapman and people like that and Rooney as good players, then clearly he's not the man for us, because they are not the answer of our football team this season.
What about Sheridan's signings compared to Unsworth's signings?
Well, exactly, and I think that's why Sheridan's walked away. But let's not forget, Sheridan was signing, players under, probably a little bit of Abdullah was still around, and then obviously, Frank's also coming to the scene. So I don't think there was nowhere near the budget for Sheridan what Unsworth has got right now, and clearly that's we're rumoured to be signing Cole Clough. We're rumoured to we've gone and signed Nuttall. So clearly the budget has been there more for Unsworth than what has been for Sheridan. So I don't think we can judge the two managers' recruitment.
Do you think though? It's like it's not as though once Sheridan's gone and the new owners have come in that everything is right within. And I think that I think you're right in that signing 2 young lads from in the centre, in midfield is never going to sort of be the answer. You need someone a bit more experienced and stuff. But I still think there was a little bit of maybe, I don't know if desperation is the right word, but I think it was. Before we had the recruitment structure, before Steve Thompson came in, before we had like a proper scouting network, and while the reputation of Oldham was still pretty bad in the game, I think it has been hard to sign players. I don't think that John Rooney was a great signing, but I think they were probably trying to sign players that were improving because we were struggling and we weren't able to bring in. I think over time, maybe the reputation of the club's getting better. We'll start seeing an improvement in the quality of players that we're able to sign. Because I don't think it just goes from being the state the club was in to all of a sudden everything's fine and we can sign whoever we want. I don't think it works quite as quickly as that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that, but and let's not forget, these signings that we're signing, these are not players stepping up. These are players who are stepping down. These are guys who have got football experience. Chapman, Football League player, Peck, around a Football League club. It's not like we're signing, for instance, go back a few years, Danny Rowe. Danny Rowe was stepping up to Football League football. We're signing players at this moment in time who are part of a Football League club, and they're not good enough.
You know,
Have you got your eye on anyone that they think might be a good signing? Is there anyone out there that you've spotted that be?
I personally think there's two massive issues with Oldham, as well as the formations, which, you know, we can talk all day long about formations. Unsworth isn't going to change his formation, and that's quite clear. As a football coach, you stick with your philosophies. Now, I'm not saying it's right, but it'd look quite weak if he started all of a sudden wanting to change like that, because we've all come on here and mourned. Do you know, so he is going to, regardless of what we all think, he's going to stick to what his formation he seems to think it is. Now, what I will say is on Saturday, I noticed that he came on the pitch and, you know, he applauded the fans. You know, so he is listening to something, which I agree he should do that. But, do you know, I personally think we've got the worst keeper I have seen at Latics under, you know, 37 years of watching him. I don't like Norman. I think he's a massive, massive lad, and he shows a massive sign of weakness by just staying on his line all the time. I don't think the back line trust him. And, you know, so I personally think we need to change the goalkeeper, you know, and I mean, I don't like going back to old signings, but I think it's someone like Usman Fame right now would be the answer for Latics. We do not have anybody who breaks up play. It just poor to see. Yeah, we need somebody to pass the ball. I get it in the middle of the park, but we haven't got anybody to win the ball. We're all going on saying Notts County, you know, we stood off and we couldn't get the ball off them. They were a good passing side, a lot better side than us, but that's because we didn't have anyone who can actually tackle in the midfield.
Do you think?
And I'm not blaming those lads. I'm not, you know, Pet's come from playing academy football as such. You know, Chapman's not played for a while, maybe not type of player. So we need somebody who can tackle.
Do you think Sheeran should be given a run, because he hasn't had the chance yet, has he?
I'm not a massive fan of Sheeran, but I'll give him his due. You know, I thought he played really well against Notts County in centre midfield. But at right back, Jordan Clark come in, you know, gives a little bit more balance. And I thought Sheeran actually played all right, to be fair, in centre midfield.
Because that's his natural position, isn't it? He played there well for Harrogate, Fleetwood.
Yeah.
He's got form. Like, for Fleetwood, that was League 1, wasn't it? League 2, he was playing really well. That's why Sheridan signed him. So I think he just needs to be given his chance in his actual preferred position, because he played a lot of pre-season in centre midfield. Then Maynard got injured, and then sort of he dropped back. So from what I saw at pre-season, he did well, and he had a good game. He scored. It was quite an hard finish that to take. I know it was an open goal, but there was quite a few players to get round when he scored that goal, and he took a cool head. So I think he's got a bit of bite if he needs to, but he just needs to be given a bit of a few run of games in that.
I agree. And obviously, I'm going to let you go in a minute, fellas, but I think, you know, when we're all saying this 4-4-2, I think the big problem with that is who is actually our left winger and right winger. We haven't actually got two actual out-and-out wingers right now. Yeah, all right, we've got Stods, but we don't rate him, do we? You know,
would you give Kuto a run on the left?
Players on the wing for Latics.
Would you give Kuto a run on the left and have Kitchen behind him, and then they could revert and swap?
I'm a little bit worried we're going a bit too young if we start doing that. That's not against Kuto, but we've got, you know, got a young Peck in there who he's going to stick by. You know, I think we're a little bit too young, and I think we need some experience in that midfield. And we need, I mean, I work the away end at Latics, and I was talking to the Notts County fans and before the game, and they said the way they play is they get down the channels and they put crosses over, and they did that. You know, the first half you could quite clearly see they were having a good go at Jordan Clark in the first half. You know, but have we got anybody who can do that in our football team? I don't think we have anyone who can run down the left and the right. You know, and get them over. And I think football's going to get very frustrated soon.
But this is the thing, though. Like we are still unbalanced. You know, there's a lot of signings to come. Like, you know, how many of these players are going to be at the club next season, the season after? You know, like, it's. We're just gonna we have to stay up this season. Just stay up, do enough, bring in who we can between now and the end of the season. Hope that the team improves. Hope that the balance of that, get a bit of luck, which we got on Sunday, which we don't usually have. Could have done a bit more in the last minute, but you know, and then hopefully then, you know, next season, you know, with good season ticket sales and a decent budget, you know, we have a go. Be nice to finish this season on a bit of a high, wouldn't it? Good results.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
some games, get some momentum. That's what we desperately need, because you don't go from finishing near the bottom of the league. Well, I was going to say that, but then looking up at like Stevenage and Northampton are doing all right up in League 2, aren't they? And they think they were, but they did finish the season better, didn't they? So look, we come on, we talk about all this, we speculate, but everybody at the club, the manager, the coaches, the board, they all want the same thing that we do. I'm sure that they're all talking about we need a player to do this, we need a player to do that. let's hope that they can find the right players and bring them in. And look, like Brad is going to say, now we've got the Gateshead game at home. We're going to be the FA Trophy winners. Would you take that? Would you take it? It'd be good, that, wouldn't it? Just to win something.
Be great, yeah. It'd be great to have some success, and it'd be great now to go on and try and win 3 or 4 games on the bounce. It really would, because look, I like Unsworth. You know, I've managed to speak to Unsworth a few times on the sidelines, obviously because I work there. You know, and he's after match, and he's a great guy. He's a really, really good character. So of course I want it to work for him. I really do, but you know, ultimately I want Oldham Athletic to stay up. You know, see, you can be a nice guy, but you know, he's there. His job is to manage Oldham Athletic Football Club and make sure we don't go down again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ben, thanks very much for ringing in.
Thanks for
your support.
Good call, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers, pal. Right.
So, what have we learned?
Well, what have we learned? That we're going to win the FA Trophy. That's a prediction or a premonition.
Farnay could be coming back.
Well, it was Rick that was like, stop this now about Fade. He's definitely one of those, isn't he? But some people have got very fond memories of him, and other people are just like,
what did you think of him?
All I remember is like just big, long, gangly legs.
Bambi on ice.
Just kind of like legs everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I always think there's you want to be going new players
go forward
rather than going back all the time. But look, I mean, it's not up to us, is it? We'll see what happens. But like, yeah, it's a huge game. If you're going down, if you're travelling down to Dorking, fair play to you this weekend. If you're not doing that on Friday night, go to the railway in Rochdale and see my
Rochdale,
not Rochdale, Royton.
The railway in Rochdale.
Yeah.
Is there a railway?
Thanks for calling that. Probably there's railway everywhere, isn't there? Yeah, get behind the boys in blue down at Dorking if you're going.
Safe travels.
I'm not ready yet. Here it is. Let's say again.
Safe travels.
The Latics Football Phone-In is hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean and Dave Bradley for Q Pod Productions. Please follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at oafc Podcast, and subscribe to youtube.com/The Boundary Park Alert System. The Latics Football Phone-In is released as a podcast every Friday morning at 7 a.m. and follows the Boundary Park Alert System podcast every Monday morning also at 7 a.m. A huge thank you goes to those people who already subscribe and support the podcast. We appreciate you all, and if you'd like to help us out, please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click support or find the link in the podcast show notes. It's only $2.99 per month, and we'll draw a subscriber at random every month to win an Oldham Athletic shirt of your choice. A special mention must go to Lee's Field Development for providing the prizes on the Wheel of Wonder. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, please get in touch. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. Thanks for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.